So we are live. This is the Lansky and the Looch show. I'm Lansky. My guest today, we got the Looch. How you doing, Looch?
I'm doing well, Lansky. I'm doing well. How are you on this spectacular Halloween afternoon?
I'm fan fucking tastic, man. It is good. And so for today, for everybody out there listening, we've got a special subject recovering hard rock and heavy metal bands that are fronted by women. Something that has grown so much over the years, and we're going to kind of dive into it. Now, Luke, I did ask you to listen to The Warning and there's something here saying, man. So tell me what you thought about it, man.
Oh, I thought they did a great job. Did very good. Matter of fact, I was a little surprised at the technology in the background with the flames and that. Honestly, I've never heard of this band, which doesn't mean a whole lot, but I'm glad you introduced me to them. And yeah, I enjoyed their rendition of Enter Sandman. They did great.
Yeah, it was kind of, it's one of those things like with Inner Sandman. It's one of those songs that's so iconic that like when I for me like when I first saw that they did a cover, I was like, oh come on, like this isn't gonna be good. But they did it in a way that that's the only way you really could cover it. And I mean, they fucking killed it. And that's kind of what got me started on being a fan of theirs. Because I mean, if you're gonna do that with Enter Sandman and the guys from Metallica loved it, I mean that says a lot right there. So very
Oh
very
yeah,
talented.
yeah, if you get their approval, you know you've done something right. But if they call you and say, take this off the air, then you know you did something wrong.
Yeah, yeah, and they even put there's an album that has like a bunch of Metallica covers, and I think that's like the first one on there. So, and they're a really cool group. They're three sisters from Mexico. They all play instruments. The drummer, how that's the creative force behind it. She writes and does everything, and it's just like I said, they're all their songs are just like hits, hit after hit after hit. So definitely, like for anybody listening, check them out. They have a brand new album out called "Keep Me Fed," and again, it's just one after the other, badass. So shout out to them. And moving forward, we'll kind of cover some other bands here that we've gotten to listen to over the years. Like first of all, I got Arch Enemy with Elisa Whiteblood, a friend of mine who's done several shout outs for Dog Rescue, and just badass with vocal range that is just insane. And you're familiar with them, right, Luke?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen them live, but they're always on Sirius XM radio, so that's where I hear them.
Oh yeah, they're bad. I have not seen them live either, believe it or not, but the videos that I have seen of their live shows are just insane. I mean, I know they headlined the Vakken Festival a couple years back, and it was just ridiculous. And it's funny 'cause you see like a girl up there like Elisa, she's not big, and then all of a sudden this like giant fucking voice just comes out of her, and it's like, what in the hell just happened? Like it's I mean, it's to me, it's mind-boggling how like the different range. I mean, I can't sing for shit, but like the range that they have is just insane, and you really don't see it or hear it in any other genre other than this.
Oh no, no! Imagine her parents, whether there's a boy or a girl, to hear one of their children, you know, practicing their vocals like that. Probably, what in the hell is this? A Chucky doll? What the? But yeah,
Yeah,
it is amazing how they can do that because, as you said, there's no other genre of music that has that type of range. Go from a beautiful singing voice to what some people call a monster's voice is pretty talented. And you and
yeah,
I were talking the other night. I was telling you I was at a concert and I seen the guy practicing with some tablet device, and I thought, you gotta be kidding me. This guy's not gonna really use his own voice. It's gonna be distorted. And but you were telling me a lot of these female singers, that's what they work on, and don't use anything like that. So
yeah. That's the backtracking. Which I mean, there's some controversy behind it whether a band should or shouldn't do it. But when it comes to like the voice, yeah, they that's 100% real. I mean, it's amazing. It's like the first one. I remember the first one that like really caught my attention was the one that went viral. Ginger. They did a live version of their song Pisces, and like it was first starts out like real melodic and singing, and then it's like all of a sudden Tatiana, it's like she becomes possessed almost. It's like what in the fuck just happened? It
Yeah.
was I mean it's just, like the one of the guys I used to work with at the cemetery, he had grown up a little shelter, let's just say. And he grew up in a religious cult. And I played that for him because I was like, oh man, blow this kid's mind. He literally got up and ran to my guest room, closed the door. He was like, "What the hell was that?"
What was he, 12?
No, he's just 30, but he was like, he listened to like country music and shit. So I was being a little bit of an ass, I admit it, but it was hilarious. And everybody I sent that to, they get the same reaction. And it's like, what in the hell is that? Like that's a real thing, man. I mean, people think metal or hard rock is just screaming, bunch of noise, and it's not. It takes a lot of talent to play that style of music, and especially and the vocals, like we said, are just unreal.
Yeah, I mean the vocals, the instruments. I mean, it's certainly a team effort in making all that happen. And it's funny. I've discovered that a lot of people, when you take out the vocals, when they hear just the instrumental only, a lot of people actually like heavy metal or punk. But I guess for some folks, the vocals is what turns them off, or the assumption that everything is evil based music and lyrics and such. So it's like, well, kind of the fool you are. But yeah, yeah. Can you imagine being, one of those young ladies who's your girlfriend and you've never seen her perform before, even heard their music, and then, she goes off on you and chants that vocal out, in some fit of rage, and you go, what? I'm out of this relationship. I don't know what the hell just happened. Am I fixing to get raped? What the hell?
I go run for a fucking church, and I'm Jewish. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell just
Yeah,
happened?
it'd be a shocker for like your buddy, who went and hid in his, where'd he go? In bedroom, bathroom?
He went in the guest room, just fucking closed the door. I was laughing my ass off, man. I was like, but yeah, people, you're right. If they hear just the instrumental part, they're like, "Oh wow, that takes a lot of talent. That's good." But for some reason, they think that like if they hear like a growl or a scream or voice or like that, they're just like, "Oh no, that's just garbage." Like you fucking go try and do that. I guess there's no way that's easy. I mean, it requires like a different skill. It's totally different from singing to do like the growls, and then like I said, with certain artists on top of it, they can sing as well, and that's there metal is like in hard rock, there's just so much more to it that if people really like gave it a chance, I think they would respect it a lot more.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's kind of what we're trying to do here is like just open some people's minds to it. Like listen up. I mean, because it's like we've talked about so many times, it's a community. It's one of those things. It doesn't matter like what background you come from, where you are. It's something that we can all like join, be a part of, and like at shows, like you said, like there's just a certain vibe, there's a feeling, and it's awesome. It's that just being a part of something, which is what
It's just
all humans want.
Yeah, it's a small, tight knit community, and I think maybe that's why some people don't want it to get too big for their britches, because sometimes you lose that tight knit community. I mean, where else can you go and outside of two fighters in UFC, but go in public and get punched in the face or kicked upside the head or whatnot, and then end up high fiving or whatnot. For the most part, not many places are you going to be able to get by with that, have that type of reaction from your people in your little community. So
Yeah, exactly. It's just such a surreal experience. If somebody's never experienced it, just like go. Don't even like even if you don't necessarily like care for the music, just like watch the people around. I mean, it's not like a country show or something where you just kind of stand there and get hammered. Like you're like jumping, headbanging, or if you get in the pit, like there's something constantly going on, and it's just you can't help but feel like get your adrenaline going. I mean, there's nothing like
no, no, you certainly aren't going to take a nap during that concert. Any of
it.
the metal concerts. So yeah, no, for sure, for sure. But that's what we ought to do a show on sometime is pit behaviors. I'm sure somebody's had to have done that, but there's so many different styles and
Yeah,
different aspects of the pit, and those who enter and those who don't enter but participate on the side. But
yeah.
yeah, go. So who do you want to talk about next on the the female singers. I was trying to tell you about a band, Escuela Grind. Their lead singer, I think her name's Katarina from Boston, and I heard them, on the radio. Pretty cool. She does a great job singing. Matter of fact, she had Barney Greenway from Napalm Death made a guest
Oh
appearance
shit.
on one of the, how they shoot these different videos, and there's the main and there's other, styles or whatever you want to call it. He was on there, so that was pretty cool. Him kind of giving them some approval or whatever
That
terminology you use for that. Just give them a good thumbs up. But yeah, she's very very talented and skillful, just like Tatiana from Ginger.
yeah, that's big if you get something like a push from Napalm Death because they've been around since shit we were kids. I mean
Oh
that
yeah,
band, they're old school, so
talking about
that's
the early
bad.
'80s, man. Can you imagine that? That's how long they've lasted. You know, like 1982, I think they might have formed. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. I know they're not female, but yeah, that's a big deal. Big deal.
Yeah, no shit. 82 is when I was born, so that's yeah. They've been around for a bit. I mean, that's huge. And there's so many bands like in this genre. I mean, you've got like okay, we got Melissa Bonney who sings for Ad Infinitum and The Dark Side of the Moon, and she can sing, and she's got the same vocal range like Elisa and Tatiana do. Dude, like comes out of nowhere. They just put out a new album that's kicking ass, and hopefully they're gonna come over here to the States and tour. Then you've also got Beyond the Black, who their lead singer Jennifer, I do know. She's been very, very kind to me, and she actually like we've talked a few times, corresponded back and forth, and they're a huge band, especially over there in Europe. But it's you would never know by talking to her, and that's the way with a lot of these artists. They're not like these like big like pop stars who like oh they're gonna turn away at you like they're everyday people too, and they like reach out to their fans, which is something that's so cool, and that a lot of people don't realize. Or let me rephrase that. It's really cool how they reach out to their fans and be like, hey, I'm just like you too. It goes a long ways for somebody that's does the everyday 9 to 5. It's really cool to have something like that available, and that's where technology, like this whole like social media and all that, that's where it actually does a really good thing because it connects the world in a way that we never did like before.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Well,
What
yeah, I
about
know because I made it.
who do you think one of the pioneers? I think for me, one of the pioneers, at least in the metal scene that I can think of, and as far as a female singer, will be OTEP.
Oh, good call. Good call. Yeah.
They've been around
Yeah.
a long time, and I think she goes by Otep Shemaya. But I saw them live, and that was a fantastic show. They actually played with, Max Cavalera's got so many different bands, but I think at the time it was Cavalera Conspiracy, which they still play Sepultura songs
Yep.
and that. But yeah, no, I think she might be one of the pioneers that I can think of. One of the earliest female vocalists in heavy metal music that at least uses that type of vocal style.
Yeah, you're right. And it's funny you say that because I know Tatiana from Ginger, that's how she kind of got into metal and doing that type of vocal. Because yeah, Otep was, man, for a long time, she was kind of like the only one that was like that. I mean, you had other singers like Lita Ford and all that, but they didn't do the screaming. They did this like the clean vocals only. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, Otep can scream her ass off, that's for sure. But yeah, like how was the live show? Because I've never seen her live.
Oh, it was great, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to her, watching her. At the time, she was a very nice looking lady. I have no idea what she looks like now, but I can't imagine much has changed. But no, it was fantastic, man. The whole show was great. And of course, when Cavalera Conspiracy came on, that was just made the night even better. It was a fantastic night. So I
Yeah,
can't tell you who else played because I was so excited to see OTEP and Cavalera Conspiracy.
yeah.
Somebody had to play before OTEP, but I can't remember who. That was, man, that was 12, 13 years ago.
Oh shit, yeah. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago.
Started this podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. So,
There's just so much to cover here, and that's what this is the very first one we're doing. And what's cool and unique about this podcast is it's actually going to fuel the money we need for our dog rescue. And that's why we're doing this. That's why I'm convinced I was put here on earth is to rescue as many dogs as possible. And we have started the dog rescue. It's called Mugsy's Mob Nationwide Dog Rescue. It's the first one to go nationwide. We're gonna set up a network to help dogs from all parts of the country where we can all connect to each other and make a difference, change the game for these guys. And we're gonna do it with positivity, man. Just put out as much good as possible. Or like you said the other day, if everybody can do just one good deed a day, and that's
Yeah,
kind of
one
what
a
we're
day,
doing here.
not a month, not a week, not at your convenience. Part of doing a good deed is sometimes it's an inconvenience, But I'm proud to
Yeah.
be a guest on the show today, for a good cause. I think my nickname, the Looch, come from as a kid growing up. You remember the Gooch on different streets?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was he picked on kids, where I was the kid that took care of the kids who picked on kids. So,
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
I don't like people hurt. I don't like people picking on somebody and or animals, especially dogs. So
Yeah.
that's why I think the cause that you have is great, and being the first national one. So that's
Right.
fantastic. Members of the metal community, I think a lot of them are dog lovers, animal lovers. It's funny. A lot of people think they got a violent side, but got a nice heart. So
Yeah, exactly. And we've gotten lots of cool shouts. Like Randy Blythe did a really awesome one. I mean, you listen to their music and you like you say, you'll be like, oh, that dude's like angry, violent. No. He loves animals. And there's so many others, like I said, that do love animals. So we're doing a good thing. And to everybody out there that listened today, thank you for listening. Come on back because we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep moving forward. So until next time, we will see y'all later.